Boys and girls, we up, we here. Told you guys I would make a decision on the poll by the end of the week, and I've thought about it real hard, real long and hard. I think we're sitting at 10 and 8 in favor of splitting. And as you guys know, I do not really care what the consensus is. It's more of a gauge for how you guys are feeling. So, with that being said, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do, they say? I'm gonna split the chats. And there's a couple reasons why I'm gonna do this. But there's also a caveat to this. So, I'm going to split it because I don't think there's much harm in doing it. If it doesn't work out, you can always just remove the old one, or the new one rather, and just default back to the old one. I think that there is the risk of it being a dead chat, but I am willing to try it for an amount of time that I will not disclose, because I don't want to give a number and then people who are like, well, I wanted this, so I'm gonna try to make it seem like it's alive for a bit before Cole decides that it's not. Do that. I'm not gonna tell you how long, but I am going to set a reminder for myself for a date in the future, and if when that date comes it is not being used to the extent that I think it should be by my own metric, I am probably just going to delete it. I think I might put out a feeler at that point, maybe if I'm on the fence about it, and say, do you guys think it was a worthwhile change? And if the answer is yes, then I'll keep it around, and if people don't think it needs to be 2 chats, then we'll get rid of it. And I also think there are some chats in the server that need to go. For one, the archives channel. You guys are not actually supposed to see that. So I'm going to change that so you guys don't, because that's just supposed to be a place where I can put things and I can drag them back out if they're not being used. There's also some joke stuff at the bottom that we've had for a while that maybe could be, removed so it's less cluttered. Because there's a lot of chats here. So if people have any suggestions for what can go, feel free to put that in poll requests. You can talk about that. But I'm always open to making the server less cluttered, and that was a concern for this. For the people who don't want these to be split, yes, I agree. There's a potential where one of these chats is not used as often, and people saying, well, what's the harm in doing it? Well, the harm is, the more chats we have, I don't want to start a trend of splitting up things for the sake of it, because if we make a niche chat for everything under the sun, we've already done that before. We've seen things not work out. We've seen chats that just die really quickly, and they just sit there and they clutter the server. And we want the server to try to look as clean as possible. It's not like this is a freaking business or anything, but it's nice when things look nice. I want things to look nice and be navigatable in a way where people feel incentivized to have conversations in chats. But the chats also have a purpose. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna make them split by the end of the night, and I guess we'll see what happens. But that is my announcement for the chat. And as for the hot take or not take thing, I don't know, a lot of people probably care about that, but I will actually be tabling that. I have a much better idea, one that's going to be way more engaging for the entire server, even for people who don't typically engage in some of these topics. I think they might be more inclined to do so with the new format I'm going to use. So look forward to that. I'll hopefully have something up and running by next week. All right, y'all. That's it.